the housing industry and the economy is very strong, especially with consumers. You know, I'm a big investor in housing products companies in particular. Margins are stronger than ever. Our EBITDA is higher than ever. Actually, M&A activity is trading at an all-time high in building products right now, Scott. The market's hot.
So new home sales fell in September, existing down to, is there a number on the 10-year that scares you?
I just think if this thing increases 200-300 basis points, housing and real estate change. And what we saw last year was a little bit of a softening of it. And I think the market's rebounded very strong as a result. I think if you would have had any movement in terms of the Fed, you probably wouldn't have had as strong last 300 days as you had.
This is the biggest question out there, is whether the consumer can hold up, right? I mean, the manufacturing economy has been tough. The consumer's been the pillar of strength. You don't feel like there's any crack in that at all?
I was once told by somebody that mortgages are the mother's milk of housing. And as long as the mother's milk of housing is okay, real estate tends to be fairly well. And so I think with these interest rates, it's making things more affordable. And I think you're seeing that reflected in the broader, stronger market.
It's interesting, Joe, you're the one who's been all over the Masco trade.
Yes.
For a while, and some of these other product stocks,
yes,
maybe rather than builder stocks.
I think that's the right way to play it. And one of the reasons that I've directed my investments towards a Masco is the concern I have is just the valuation of land itself. Do you view that as a headwind for housing? Because it seems to be there's not much incentive to build given where the values on the land are.
Well, the good thing about land is you can't really get rid of it unless you buy it in the wrong location, right? And I think what happened in the last recession was people got really smart about where to buy property. So I think the market, generally speaking, people are buying land in good places these days. They're not buying them out in the boondocks, so to speak. So I think you're right to be focused on the building products companies. I own them stronger than ever.
You got a question?
I love, well, of course I love Bill Pulte.
You've talked about the builders.
Yep, and it's been one of the best stocks in my portfolio.
Do you have a question for him?
I've
got a question. I've got a question also.
Wait, you don't have a question?
I do.
Okay.
Mortgage rates, like you say, mother's milk for this sector. I think they're going to be lower for longer, and by that I mean several years into the future. So are you looking at that long of a ramp, perhaps, for some of the home builders?
I think the market's very strong. I think it's going to continue to be strong, absent some material change either in wage growth. Wage growth is very strong, and when people have more money, when they can access cheaper mortgages, things go well. And these mortgages that are being underwritten are pretty solid right now. I don't think you're going to see a reversion back to the last recession.
What are you seeing in the commodity inputs? They just haven't gone up, right? So it's...
Well, actually, lumber prices are up. That was going to be my question. Lumber prices are up about 30% on a year-over-year basis with quite a bit of volatility around tariffs and with Canada. So how do you factor that into your
and labor
plans?
costs as well?
Well, we had a big tariff in the Chinese countertop business, and we were able to pass it on to customers. The customers were able to take the tariff increases. It's been unbelievable how much people are.
But are you constrained?
Wait a minute, the Chinese weren't paying for the tariffs?
Yeah, they pay for all the tariffs. That's what confuses me about the whole thing, because I think it's good for high tariffs because they pay more to us. But here, in terms of the labor force, we hear CEOs come on time and time again saying, I can't find people. So how are you doing it, or are you? Is that an issue?
I am doing it, and look, you got to find a way to hire people. If you want to have a business, you got to find a way to hire people, and that means paying them more. I pay my people well, and our building products companies have great employees.
All right, so let's move beyond housing. Talk about this other thing that really caught our eye. It's this idea of using social media as a vehicle for philanthropy, which you're doing in a big way.
Yeah.
You're giving away $1 million?
I'm giving away $1 million total on Twitter. I've given away over $300,000 in the form of cash, Tesla, et cetera. But what I'm trying to do is move philanthropy online, Scott. There's billions of dollars of philanthropy. Why aren't we using social media for good? You know, there's such hate, such vitriol on social media. Let's use social media for good. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera.
So you said you've given away $300,000. How does this all work?
So basically what we do is we connect human beings to other human beings on social media platforms like Twitter. So for instance, if you're a terminally ill cancer patient, for example, you're on Twitter. You can put out, hey, I'm a terminally cancer patient, and I need help. And we can go and, Scott, I raised $7,000, $5,000, $600. This is life transformative money for the average American. And that's what this technology should be used for.
You're tweeting out things to people to engage them, and that's how you find them to give them the money, or they have to come to you and ask you?
They just tweet at me, they mention me, and there's a whole, I call them teammates. I got 920,000 people. I had 30,000 people following me a few months ago. It's a huge community of Americans helping Americans.
And you're able to, because you have so many followers, you're able to check the veracity of their claims.
I say everybody needs to do their own research, but people are smart, right? I mean, I don't think very often you're going to see people faking that they're dying of cancer, right? And that they're out of a job and they need $7,000. That's what this is designed to do, or people who need teeth. Scott, we had a veteran who lost his leg in overseas. We raised him, I think, $15,000 plus for a car online, $5, $10, $20. Americans all coming in to help each other.
Just crowdsourcing.